Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and Brad and I are doing our top 10 gateway games. Now, this is a list that we have done in the past. Probably, is it 10 years old at this point?
Well, you were in Clinton, so I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's been 10 years, but it's been,
No, it hasn't been 10 years, but it's been well over 5 years.
yeah.
And in the board game world, that is a long time for tons and tons of games to come out. So definitely expect to see more top tens from older top tens, some redos and touch-ups. But I figured this was a good one to kind of do towards the beginning of the year. Hell, at this point, it's the beginning of March, so that's kind of fucking wild.
Yes.
Um, but Brad, you want to give an explanation on what a gateway game is?
Well, a gateway game is a game that you use to show non-gamers what the hobby is like and how you're trying to introduce them to the hobby and not blow their minds and like in a bad way and just like
Yeah,
bury them. You're like, hey, let's play TI4, or something like that. So these are
yeah.
games that are like games that you can introduce to them that aren't gonna overwhelm them.
hmm
And that
Yeah,
could be
typically
a good stepping stone.
kitty baby games, like you really would show them like games that you would teach kindergartners.
Not really, not
No,
my
no,
list.
no, I'm
Like,
kidding. I'm kidding. But that's what I bet a lot of people would kind of think is like, oh, so it's like children's games? No, I mean there's a lot of games. I have a di I feel like I have a different or a skewed version of gateway games because I believe you can show. I mean, you could show a lot of people a lot of games and that they can grasp it.
right.
Um, but there's kind of a you know, everyone's gonna learn differently. People can handle more complex games. So, um, what I consider a gateway is definitely not what Brad might consider a gateway, or what your mom might consider a gateway. Uh, but over the years, I've shown, especially like I've shown my girlfriend a lot of games, and it's like you can kind of feel what hits and what misses.
You can, and I also I also approach this list in particular with like if I went to a game store and I was just, and there was somebody just sitting there, that I didn't
Hmm.
even know. This is like some like games I would show somebody that I don't even know,
Yeah.
that's coming into the hobby. Because like if it's somebody you can kind of what they like and
Yeah,
you can
that's
kind
true.
of
You
use
can
different
kind of
stuff.
tailor it. Yeah.
Right. So this was like if you do not know this person, but you are tasked by the game store guy to be like, hey, show these people some games, that might get them into the hobby or something like that.
Sure.
Then you just kind of generalize it and go that way.
Yeah. Um, okay. Well, with that being said, Brad, you want to kick us off with the honorable mention?
Sure thing. All right. So how I did my list is I tried to pick a game from that had different mechanics as the main thing. So like X game is going to be my worker placement, and stuff like this. So mine will be kind of like that. But with that being said, my honorable mention is the roll and write of this list,
Okay.
to kind of or roll and flip, I guess, how you would go, and that's going to be cartographers.
Nice.
Um, I
This was
did
on my
this,
short list.
yeah, I mainly did this one because it's very easy to explain. They get to draw or color in on their little grid, so they can get as creative as they want to, or not. They could just do, just do something super basic if they want. But
Hmm
if they are a person that maybe likes, artistic stuff, and stuff like that, they could really get cool with this. Um, and it's not a complex game at all. Um,
Yeah.
it's very easily led by a person that knows what's going on.
hmm
Um, so it's just one of those deals that I looked at a lot of other like roll and rights or roll and flips and stuff, and this one seemed like it would have a wider base.
You didn't want to
Um,
throw Tend on here
no, no, because that would be
or
the higher level.
Hadrian's Wall?
No, but this one just I felt like it hit more general people, just because it's
Yeah.
got good artwork, it's got the colored pencil, the coloring aspect. If you want to go that far, um, it feels like you're in the world, even though kind of a basic kind of thing. You have the with the
Hmm.
monster cards and all that stuff.
Has
It's just
player interaction, has
right,
variety. It's
right,
the only like flipping right that actually has fun repeat plays.
right. Yep.
Yeah, this was definitely considered. Let me double check. That's not no, it's not on here. But one thing that I considered for my top 10 was also because the gateway game is meant to be kind of a hook, be
Right.
like, aha, now you have no money. Like, I gotcha. Um, so I wanted to consider games that were expandable.
Right.
And that's why Cartographers also is that. If they end up really liking the base game, there's a good chunk of expansions for that.
Yes, there is.
And there's also the Cartographers Heroes, which I think is the same game. I don't
It
remember.
is. It adds heroes to it that you can put out
Yeah,
on the grid that kind of help with monsters and different odds
right.
and ends, stuff like that.
Nice. Yeah, very, very good. I like this one.
Mm.
My honorable mention, I did not do the same thing you did. I just had a massive list of games that I obviously considered for it, and I just went into kind of a mix of, how much I like the game versus how much I think it, you know, how easily I think it would work in like a group setting of new players.
Right.
Um, and this game definitely has that going for it. It has the art that's going for it, has the theme that's going for it, and it's also pretty straightforward. And that is Flamecraft.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Not Flamecraft Duels. That I mean that would work too, but I like Flamecraft better. So this game is a game about artisans dragons. So funny enough, we kind of had two arty
Yeah.
kind of games where you have these man, I wish I could find the picture um of the board, but I guess the back of the box will do. So you have these different dragons that you will send out as cards to various locations. And these locations are extremely cute. They're on the nose, like, I don't know, Draco Bell or Draco
Yeah.
Bell, if it's like it's supposed to be Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Um, but they're very cutesy things. And literally, you just go to one of these locations with your worker, place a dragon down, and then get the resource that the dragon is on. And these dragons do have different abilities, but they're all the color dragons, like all the like the same color dragon have the same ability. So it's not like you're going to get overwhelmed with like a million different types of abilities. Hell, you can even forego the special sun and moon cards if you don't want to make it too complex, but you can add that in, once people kind of get the grasp. But you're just collecting various different resources to complete orders in the middle to get happy points. Is that what they call? I don't remember
Been a long
what.
time since I played it, so it's
Yeah.
been a long time since I played it, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's victory points is really what it is. And after all locations are filled, then the game is over. So, I chose this because I think it has the cutesy art factor, and it's a very straightforward game that you can kind of tailor to be a little bit more complex if you want it to be. But that is my honorable mention, Flamecraft.
Good choice. All right, so my number 10 is a game that came out. It's came out last year. It's pretty recent. It's probably the newest one. Yeah, it's the newest one on this list. But this is in the element of trick taking, which is that's the theme for this one. And that's going to be the Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring trick taking game.
I
Um,
have not played this
this
one.
one is very good. Like
Very curious.
I'm not a trick taking fan. Like I've tried the crew, I've done several things like that, and those usually just don't hit me well. But this one, for some reason, like it was easy to grok. It does really good teamwork, good. Um, it had a really good solo mode for a trick taking game,
Okay.
which is interesting because usually trick taking games you want more people to kind of do stuff, but they do an excellent deal with the solo of this, and it's story based. It follows the book of the Fellowship of the Ring. So each chapter, I think there's 18 chapters in the box, and you're like playing through each one, and it introduces new cards, new things each deal, new characters you can use. But the reason I put on this list is because um, it seems like this is an even easier trick-taking game than like The Crew, like as far as easier to learn. Like the rules, because it's
Yeah.
very, very straightforward. There's not a lot of writing on the cards to really mess with. It's pretty much just your
Hmm.
numbers. Each hero has an ability, um, and you work through the story, and it's a very good intro into trick taking. And it
Yeah, I feel
actually kind
like
of got. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I feel like The Crew can throw people off because of the lack of communication.
Right.
Like if people aren't understanding, not only do they have to understand trick taking, they now have to understand how to give clues to people correctly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just gonna lose all the time.
Yeah, and like these cards, like the ones that you have out there right now, because each chapter suggests characters that you need to use, or some you have to use, and then you could always throw in another if you want to. But like Frodo there, he'll always start with that one ring card, the one ring, haha. But
Nice.
he has to get at least four cards win tricks where he at least has four ring cards in that suit by the end. That's his winning goal. But so you win if everybody completes their goal. Like
Yeah.
Pippin wants to have the least amount of tricks, and all this different stuff. So and before you actually play, you get to do the text, and some of them let you trade at the very beginning of the game. So Pippin can trade with Frodo. So then you can kind of mess around with what cards you have and all that stuff. And there's threat that pops up as well. It's very easy though, and it's because with it being a pure co-op, you can converse, you can talk about
Hmm.
stuff. It's very, very easy to get people to learn. It's not going to overwhelm you like what you said with The Crew.
Okay.
Um, but then they also have the second one, the Two Towers that I haven't played yet because I'm about halfway through the campaign of this one. Um, and it brings in some more mechanics. It might actually make it a little bit more strategic even more. So this one's a good entry point, obviously, because it's the first book too. But I think this is the most basic of the two so far, and I think they're going to come out with the Return of the King this year. I think is the
Nice.
plan. So yeah, I mean, this is a really good trick taking deal to kind of teach people, like what the trump card, all that stuff, that lingo that comes with trick taking games.
Sure.
This one is excellent at teaching people that.
Good deal. Yeah, I have no trick taking on my list because it's not a genre I particularly
It's
enjoy.
not me either. Like this is the
Yeah.
one that like none of the others I've ever tried to really grasp me.
Well, it being Lord of the Rings definitely helps.
Yeah.
All right. Whoops. My number 10. I do have actually quite a few newer games on this list. I mean, that was one of the reasons kind of why I wanted to redo this one because I felt like there were a lot that have come out relatively recently, that would have been good. Um, I mean, now that I look at my list, I mean, I have multiple cooperative games on here, but um, you could make a genre for a lot of these. And this one would be my boss battler, and that is Aeon Trespass Odyssey.
Oh
No,
dear Lord.
is Boss Fighters QR.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. I just hadn't played this one. So
Yeah. This one kind of came out of nowhere for um for me that I mean you would look at this and be like, well, that's going to be terrible because of the name. Definitely an uninspired name. Um, but this one is very, very straightforward, but still highly strategic and gets a lot of people involved. In this game, you are running characters, but a character in a class and you have a deck of cards, but you're fighting a boss that's run by an app. So the great thing about gateway games is the people who are coming into it don't have any biases towards apps. They're not going to be like, oh, apps ruin board games. In fact, they're probably going to be way more into it, unless they're the person who's teaching them. I mean, no one's going to teach them this game if they don't like, if the person teaching it doesn't like
right.
technology in board games. So they're probably going to be like, oh, I didn't know that board games could have apps. And it's like, hey, this whole game is ran by an app, which is just so it has the wow factor, has the gamey factor to it, You can get a lot of people who play video games to kind of merge into this and get a lot more involved. But what's awesome about this one is the fact that your cards are very straightforward. I mean, there are later cards you can get that are a little bit more complex, but honestly, if you're attacking an enemy and it's like, oh, okay, I have an action. Okay, I'll scan my sword card to do 5 melee damage. And with it being fully cooperative and everyone getting to, uh, synergize with one another and communicate, then it just eases people into it even more. So you have the full cooperation, the no campaign or anything like that. Just pick a boss. The actually, funny enough, the bosses that you fight ease you into the game. It's like you have the tutorial that gives you your starting deck is only half of what it would be to just really get you the basics. Then it's like, okay, throw in the rest of your starting cards. Now fight the first boss. And then that teaches you rules. And the rule book will just constantly just add more and more rules so it's easier for people to get into this. And by the time you're done going through the boss like rulebook stuff, then you're off to the races. There wouldn't be anything that the game throws at you that you would be like, I have no idea what's going on.
Right.
So has a lot going for it. And the fact that it's actively being supported by Pegasus Spiel is just, incentivizes this game to be played more and more. And on top of all that, it's actually a great boss battler. So that's
Yeah.
my number 10, Boss
All right.
Fighters QR.
All right, good choice. I think I haven't played it yet, but um, all right. My number nine, the going on the mechanic with this one was like detective based games. There are
Mm,
people that like the whole, the crime stuff, genre and
yep.
stuff like that. So I went with Chronicles of Crime.
This was also on
Um,
my short list. It
mainly
is not qu
because it mainly because it enters that it brings the tech into the game, like being able to actually observe the scene, and the scanning of the QR codes, and it's
hmm
with it being a pure cooperative thing, you can all can kind of discuss and table talk and try to figure out what your next moves are. Um, and it really like brings people into it, is this is still Lucky Duck's kind of their I think their best one of
It
every,
has to be.
but
Whoops.
but here's the hoping that God's flame or God's fire or whatever the hell that God's grave
To the
is
God's grave.
anything. But anyway, but yeah, so this one just having that uniqueness of being able to like, hey guys, we're gonna do this crime game, but what's
hmm
cool is you get to like take this phone and you get to like observe the crime scene, and stuff like that. So it's just like it's really got a hook to it for
Yeah.
people because they're like, oh shit, this is in board games, and
hmm
everything. And I was thinking of the crime games, and this one's the most, you know, innovative to the point where it comes uh would hook people. I know Detective, I haven't played Detective yet, but that one's a little more
Detective's
complex.
way more intense,
Right.
with like the website and stuff. Sherlock Holmes is easier, but it's demoralizing because you have to get like a really good score. And Chronicles of Crime is nice because it's like as long as you get the guy, then it's like all the extra stuff is just it's like, hey, you won,
Right.
but you could have done a little bit better. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, this was on my short list, so I definitely considered it, and yeah, I didn't quite make my list just because again, I just picked other games. Um, but I'm also glad that you brought it up because yeah, because the Who Done It, everyone wants to be involved, even
Yes,
if you're not the
exactly.
one looking through the VR, like you get to put in input and take, and someone could be a note taker, or someone could, you know, throw out ideas of like, well, hey, wait a minute, like, what if we, go ask, Skinky Steve about that bloody knife? It's like, hey, he seemed to be at the location. It's like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Let's go do that.
Yeah, another thing I want to try with this game, I don't know if it would work, but in theory it would be to like if you had a group like that you were into it and everything, if you did the whole share your screen on the TV and mirrored your screen to
Oh
the
yeah,
deal, and like the person that was looking you could kind of see on the TV, and if you had one in your game room to like see what's so like you'd have more people kind of seeing it too,
that would be
you know?
cool.
that would be interesting. I don't know if you could do it because of with it being in an app. I don't know how if that's even possible, but it would be
Sure.
neat if you could because then it would get everybody even more involved because they'd all be like looking at the TV trying to figure out
Yeah.
too. And you have
Yeah,
maybe the more experienced person is sitting there, the one flying through the cards as people are. You let
right.
the new people kind of see what they say and stuff.
Yeah, because the one thing is like the phone thing is cool, but like it is kind of annoying if you have multiple people to be like, I want to see, and it's like, ugh, okay, there's nothing else to look at.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like you kind of take turns, but yeah, it'd be neat if you could mirror it and then just have kind of like one person looking around, but then everyone can still look
yeah.
around, like they're all at the crime scene.
Yep.
Yeah, neat. Yeah, very good choice. I agree. Um, how many do you think we're gonna have any crossover?
Um, I mean, maybe I can't
Yeah.
say with any certainty. I would say I guess there's a chance of there
If
being
I'd say
one.
maybe, yeah, maybe one or two.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess one because a lot of these I think you've kind of put in your rearview mirror. A
Gotcha.
lot of them. So I would say there's one that you currently play that I think
Okay,
would
that's
maybe be
fair.
on there.
All right. Well, my number nine is a game that I think I told you about. It was one that I demoed at Gen Con. And I was like, kind of or whatever. And I ended up picking it up, and then I've played it with my girlfriend tons of times, and they actually have it's not even an expansion, just a different version that I don't like as much. Uh, and that is Forest, Forest Shuffle. With all the expansions. You can pick this one up, or you can pick up Dartmoor. I actually kind of find Dartmoor to be a little bit more a little bit more complex than I think this game kind of needs. Not that it's bad by any means, but something about this one, I actually gravitate more towards the simplicity of it. Um, but in this game, I mean, there's a ton of cards, but all you are doing on your turn is you either playing a card or drawing cards from a massive deck. And when you play cards, you have to discard cards from your hand to put them down. So like trees. So you're building out a forest with trees. But then if you're playing other cards like this European hare or this hedgehog, then uh you pay for it just like normal, but then it goes either to the right or to the left or underneath or on top. And each tree can only have one animal on each side. Unless, like the European hare says, any number of European hares may share this spot. But at the end of the game, there are three winter cards in the whole deck, and once the third one is drawn, winter is here, and the game ends, and then you score. Now,
Yep.
the most complex thing about this game is the scoring.
Yes.
But you can download an app for it that lets you take pictures of each tree, and it will capture all that, and you can score that way. Makes it even easier. Um, but yeah, I have played this game tons of times, and this actually works really well for new players and for, advanced gamers because it has just enough. Yeah, I mean, the new gamers might not win, but like they're not going to be in over their head with this. Hell, even looking at this, it's like not even that bad. It's like you can easily look at it and be like, okay, like if you understand obviously how the rules work, and this is also assuming that the person you're teaching isn't completely brain dead,
All right.
for any of these games. If they can grasp rules, then any game on my list I think is going to work. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think this one, like if you're teaching somebody, the gameplay itself, like you said, is easy. But I think it would take the first game for somebody new and then to go through the scoring to see like, oh yeah. So
sure.
then when you play the second time, I think because it's that easy, I think once they see kind of like far away, or something
Yeah.
like that first game, you're like, oh, that's how scoring works. I understand now. And then you
Yeah,
go
yeah,
through,
yeah.
So yeah, but no, this is an excellent choice.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And there's honestly not much. And again, I wanted games that were expandable once you kind of show them because this one, and I also kind of because of recent like my recent gaming has been with my significant other. So it's kind of like, this definitely has that great couples feel. Like
Right.
a lot of my a lot of my games that were on my short list and stuff were like, how do you get your significant other into the hobby? Because that's always an issue where it's like, how do I get my girlfriend to play games with me? It's like I don't know, play games
Yep.
she that shares an interest. But yeah, this one has worked extremely well for me, so might work well for you.
Yep. Yep. It's a very good, and it's inexpensive too. That's another good
Yeah,
deal.
that's
It's pretty
true.
cheap. So yeah,
Yeah,
good
actually,
choice.
speaking of which,
Yeah.
none of my games, one of my games is Kickstarter. None of the other ones are actually.
Well, I guess Chronicles of Crime was.
Yeah,
Um, I don't think
but
but
all
yeah,
of mine.
Cartographers was in the collector's box was the original for
Oh
Cartographers.
yeah,
So
yeah, but
maybe I
I
have
guess all
three.
of mine are readily like you could readily get them.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, mine are too.
Yeah, none of them
Yep.
are like, oh, sorry, it's really good. It's a great gateway game. You just have to find it for $400.
Right.
Like none of them are like that.
Yep. Good. Yep. Good idea. All right. Number 8. This is my pure teamwork slash co-op game on here. So like you have your board, you have your miniatures, you're working as a team. I thought about both versions of this game because this game comes in two versions. I picked this one because it has a lighter theme and there's some humor in it. And that is the Unmatched Adventures Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Nice.
Um, this
Oh, the
one,
teenage. Okay.
yeah, because it's just lighter and it's more of a,
Yeah.
it's got some tongue-in-cheek humor to it and stuff like
Unmatched was
that.
also on my short list, not the Adventures because I haven't played that, but I did
Right.
think of Unmatched, but then I was kind of like, well, there are a ton of different decks and there are a ton of different abilities in the
Yeah,
1v1, so it might be a little bit too much.
right.
Um
It still astounds me that this game, Rob Daviau was helped with the designing of it. It's still, I just
Oh
saw
hey,
that.
we were just
I just,
talking about it. I'm like,
yeah,
what has he
I
even
just
done
saw it.
lately?
Well, and I don't know because he usually does like the legacy kind of things or stuff like that. And it's like this has no legacy stuff in it, so I
Did
don't
he
know.
even do Legacy after Seafall? Did he do season 0 of
Rob Da
Pandemic Legacy?
I think Rob Daviau pretty much only does legacy games.
Well, I know, but Seafall was such a colossal failure that it's like
Yeah,
I
that
assumed he
was
just faded away.
no, he did, he's worked on shit. What else did he work on? Because he's done a lot over the years, like recently, like not
Yeah.
recent, but over the last 5 to 6 years, he's put in a lot of
Okay,
stuff.
he did do
Death May
season 0.
Die. He did the Ticket to Ride,
Apparently
Ticket to Ride
unmatched
Legacy.
Cobble and Fog. Huh.
Interesting.
Okay.
But anyway, so and the soon to come Nemesis Legacy, which will be badass. But
That's gonna be go.
but uh, but
Dope.
anyway, so I chose this one because it uses that pure cooperative aspect of the Unmatched Adventures, which is my favorite way to play this system. And you run through with your typical four. You also have your allies that you'll have with you, but you have your own deck. But it's super duper simple, this game, as far as knowing what you're doing. Um, you have your table talk again, so it's not like you have to decide. So there's all these questions you can do. It's very straightforward. Um, the copy I have doesn't have because I got the retail copy, but the retail copy of this is still like bonkers because it doesn't have the miniatures for the allies and the henchmen, but it has these really nice acrylic tokens and stuff that go into it. But you have two bosses in this one. You have Shredder and Krang, and
Yeah.
you
And they can
just
actually fight each other
well, right.
in
You have to have the
in the
expansion.
was it an add-on or an
Yeah,
expansion?
it's an add-on that turns them into players that you can play in
Nice.
and the other 1v1 versions. But
Yeah.
but anyway, yeah, so you can use these and substitute other characters. So if there's somebody, with I always joked with the other guys that throwing Bruce Lee or Muhammad Ali into a guest appearance of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle show, and
Right.
stuff like that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
the don't do drugs after school
yeah,
special.
yeah.
The Dare program with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. So I just chose this one because it's of all the co-op like miniature games, like this system aligns itself so well because the cards are not overwhelming in the decks. The special ability of each character is very easy. Um, and it's pretty much just your objectives for each mission are really easy. Handle the
Okay.
boss.
Yeah, I haven't
And
played the adventures yet. I've only played. I recently got back into Unmatched. Got a, I guess a good deal. I don't know, like on everything for it. Um, but I have recently played the Ollie versus Lee one. And to be fair, I did teach my girlfriend this, and that was like her first 1v1 style fighting game like this. This went a hell of a lot better than if I ever tried to teach her BattleCon. I can
yeah.
tell you that. And I mean, I can also tell you that if you throw Bruce Lee into this, Shredder's gonna get fucked. Like, dude, Bruce Lee is brutal. Like, she never pl having played Unmatched before, I got rocked. I was like, how do I beat him? And then we
Yeah.
played again, and then I did win. But yeah, it was work. So it's cool that I'm gonna throw in kind of Unmatched because I know you don't like the 1v1, but I do think it was on my short list that Unmatched you can get the best of both worlds,
Yes.
honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So yeah, so this is my co-op, like pure miniatures co-op
nice,
version of this list.
nice. Um, yeah, one thing that we should also mention is you looked at the old top 10.
I did. And I
I did
have I
not.
have I have two games I look now that I had on that original list.
Okay.
And the other ones were so old and so like light, so much lighter. Like
Yeah.
I had like Suro on there and like just all these like really
Oh,
basic
yeah.
games, so I've
Yeah.
leveled up a
What
few,
was that game that Chad likes? Slick or Climp or whatever it was called? That
Pit.
card Pit.
Yeah.
What the fuck did I say? Limp.
Slick.
Yeah, you know what? That's probably a card game. Um, but yeah. So I mean, you probably had games like that. I have no idea what was on my old list.
You had Ticket
That
to Ride was one of them. That's the only one I
yeah, I can tell
remember.
you that's not on here.
And you had
Um,
a regular Pandemic, I think you had on there.
okay.
Can't remember right off the top of my head, but those are the two that I remember.
Okay. So my number 8. This one out of probably all the ones on the list, I could see some people being like, no way. But I really don't think it's actually that bad if you are staying base game. Now, again, if we want to talk about expandable games, this one is out there, but this has two really great avenues to teach you. And if you stick to base game, I think it's a solid one to get you into deck building, and that is Dominion,
Oh, I would think that would be,
if
yeah.
I
Because I mean
can spell it.
that's the most uh like bare bones deck builder,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
so yeah, I would agree.
So with Dominion, this is again as you would be teaching someone deck building. And I mean, straight out of the gate, the base game has tons of replayability. But as a uh as a deck builder, like Brad was saying, it is the most straightforward. You have a hand of 5 cards. You play every card in it, but you only have one buy action and one action. Or you have one buy and one action, unless other cards give you more buy and more actions. But so and if you don't have any of those, then it's like I played all my copper. I have 5 copper and I can buy this this smithy. Straight to your discard pile, rinse, repeat. And it allows you to teach someone how deck building works. And the whole point of the game is to generate enough money to buy as many provinces, or if you're playing with different types of market cards, there might be other ways to get victory points, but that's generally, you know, when the game ends is when all the provinces are gone. I have had great success teaching this to new people. Um, yeah, they might have to sit there and like whenever they get like tons of poacher cards or something, and they're like, "Oh, okay, how many actions do I have?" They might get a little bit lost there, but I have a really cool way of I took the moon. Have you ever played Moonrakers?
No, I have not.
Okay. So they had a really cool system because that game kind of had a way to kind of branch out actions. So I actually kind of took what they did there and did it here. So it's like if you play a card that gives you +1 action, you play your next action kind of overlaying that. and so that you can kind of see a tree of your actions.
Right.
And that's how I've taught it to people so that you're not having to sit there and try and remember if you just play them all in a single pile or a straight into your discard pile or whatever it might be. And that has gone over pretty well to help people keep track of what actions they have, and then, they can just easily add up the money. But yeah, I mean, the game has market recommendations in the back of the rule book. It's like, hey, if you just want to learn base Dominion, use these cards. And then you can get creative with it. And then go wild with the 30 expansions
Yeah,
that
I
they
know,
have
Jesus. Yeah.
that they keep seeming to release. But the second avenue on how to play this game is it has a tremendous app that can easily walk you through it for how to play this game. And and yeah, so deck building, I think this is easily one of the best ones to jump into because it's also, I mean, it's competitive, but it's not like 1v1, I'm attacking you for health or anything like that. It's just
Right.
you get to play your deck out, build it however you try, how you want to, and try and get the most points.
Yeah. Yep. Good deal. What I totally I like this. Like this reminded me of something I was going to do with this list after each pick. Because I was going to go through and say what it would be a gateway to, like
Oh yeah, yeah.
what would the next step be? This one would be to me would be like a Thunderstone quest because that was the next one that kind of came out. Um the Thunderstone series, not Thunderstone Quest, because there was other variations of Thunderstone before the quest, but
Yeah,
that was always considered the next step from this because it added like other elements that made it more the
right.
deal.
Yeah,
Um,
I didn't think of doing that because a lot of my choices were the next step would be to get expansions
and
for
that's
the
true
game.
too. Yeah, I just had like my cartographers would have been like a heavy rolling right, like
Yeah.
fleet the dice game and different stuff
Yeah,
like
or
that, or
Dinosaur Island Roar and
yeah,
Ride.
yeah, yeah.
That'd
So
be
I
a
mean,
good one.
I had that in mind. I was going to talk about that, but I haven't done it on the other pick, so I won't do it the rest of the way.
Nice.
But anyway, yeah, good choice on this one for sure. But my number 7 is my Polyomino game. To kind of
Feast
teach
for
them.
Odin.
No,
Nice.
no, that was my next step game actually. But my intro one to this one is Barren Park.
That's a good
Uh,
one.
because you're pretty much just you're creating a bear park, obviously, and you have your little gateway entry, little grid there to start with. You're going to place down polyominoes on there, and if you cover up certain icons, depending on what icons you cover up, will determine where you can get your next tiles from. You're trying to completely fill out each tile because if you get them completely filled out to where just the stand for the bear statue is there, then you get that high point bear statue deal. And then you can also add on more boards depending on when you get stuff. So you can have up to 4 boards. Um, and you're just trying to fill them out as much as possible, and trying to get those big victory point bear statues early. And then every building is worth points too as you go through. But it's very, 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 very basic. I mean, you're just trying to fit stuff on a board and cover up icons to be able to do more stuff.
Hmm.
Um, and the expansion does in this case make it more complex. The bad news bears or whatever expansion because it adds different tiles like monorails and stuff like that you can
Yeah.
build in it and stuff. But my next step for this one, obviously, like you said, was Feast Road, and just because of the stuff. But polyominoes are
See,
something that a
I
lot.
would not I would not teach someone this and then be like, all right, now that you've played Baron Park, how about Feast for
Well,
Odin?
no,
Like,
eventually, like
yeah,
just of just the polyomino aspect. I'm not talking like the theme of the game and all that stuff.
right.
Because I know like Tiny Towns is another one that you'd have, and it would have been another
Tiny
gateway one.
Towns.
Um,
Like
but
if we're going like not gateway, but like mid, like the next step would
mhm,
be Isle of Cats,
yeah, yeah,
I
stuff like
think,
that. So,
because of the
sorry.
drafting element. Because Isle of Cats was also on my list, but I'm like, well, there's the polyomino aspect. Then there's the drafting element. Like
Right, yeah.
it might be a little bit too much, but yeah, Baron Park's a very solid one.
Yeah, yeah, and a lot of these are games. down this list are games that I've used with Amy because now she's playing
Hmm.
a lot heavier games now. And these were a lot of the ones we still go back to these, but these were ones I started with
Yeah,
her over the last couple of years to kind of get her up to the point where she's at now.
right.
Um, but and this was one of those. So
Nice. Good deal. My number seven was so I said Dominion might be the one that most people might be like, that might be too much. I could also see the argument for this one, but because it is so successful, it has sold millions and millions of copies, and I really can't imagine that the millions of copies are being done by people who are extremely heavy gamers. So I think that this one works pretty well, and that is Wingspan.
yeah, I thought about this one, but then like I've had a failed attempt at teaching this to a new person. Um,
Now, does that person does his name rhyme with flirt?
no, it was somebody else.
Okay.
But I mean, it's they've come out with an easier version of this too.
That
Um,
is true. Which one?
I'd say
Finspan, right?
FinSpan is
I think
the better like yeah. I mean that's
yeah,
why
that's
here
what
I haven't played Worm or FinSpan. I just know people
I
have
have
said that
played.
FinSpan. You know,
That's what I've heard as well. I have played Wormspan. I have not played Finspan. Because honestly, those games I was kind of like, are you fucking kidding me? But yeah, but
I don't
Wormspan,
disagree with this though.
yeah.
Like this is definitely in there.
Um, but again, I think funny enough, I think nature games just by design like allow lead themselves into that gateway feeling for some reason or another. Because I also considered Earth, but then I'm like, that's a little bit too combo
That yeah,
heavy in
that's
the setup and stuff. But I was like,
yep.
for some reason Earth felt like it's a good gateway game. um but here, Wingspan is the bird game. As you can tell, there's hundreds of different birds, and the birds do have different effects, but really what you are doing is there's a dice tower that has dice that go in it that have resources on it that you just can take them, and you will spend those resources to play birds in your aviary. And these birds allow you to put eggs on it based off of the icons down here. And well, I don't know what language this
Zubats
is.
Paziwini. Is it Paziwini?
Coliberic rubinobrodi, uh, which obviously means hummingbird. Um, But yeah, whenever you have a certain number of action cubes that you can play to trigger whether you want to trigger a row, and then you just kind of go down that row and trigger the effects. And all the effects are very straightforward. Put an egg on this bird, put an egg on the bird next to it, take a card from the top of the deck and tuck it under here. I think the biggest hurdle for this game is the scoring,
Yeah,
because there's a couple options. You have two boards, or one board that's double-sided that is like a more competitive first come first serve, you get the more points, or the more friendly one that's like, hey everyone, as long as you do it, you get the same amount of points. But then there's also the secret cards that like these are aiming for a certain I have no idea what this language is, but it's like, hey, do you want to find birds that have a less than 30 centimeter wingspan.
yeah,
Um, so, but the action systems that you take in this game are very straightforward. And if that is true and Finspan is more streamlined, then replace this selection with Finspan. I haven't played Finspan, so I don't know. And I feel like Wormspan might be cleaner of a game, but it doesn't have this. It doesn't have the sheer magnitude that Wingspan did.
right. Oh yeah.
Um, so might be. I could see someone saying like, no, this is. I've tried this so many times and it's way too complex. But it's sold so. I mean, it's literally number five in family,
Well,
and you know
yeah.
what gateway games lean towards family.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say. Like this game was unprecedented at the time, as far as just
Yeah,
like you saw people that you didn't think were gamers going in, because this is being sold in Walmarts and Targets and
yeah,
Barnes and Nobles and just all this stuff, and people are just like buying it. It's so
yeah.
it's I mean, it obviously hits that, whether it's a little too complex or not. It's hit that right vein and
Exactly. It,
and
it was
stuff.
one of
So
those games that people wanted. If they had never played a game before, they wanted to put in the effort. If
right.
it was kind of maybe out of their wheelhouse, and yeah, just once, like again, if people can just understand rules, which might be like, well, duh, but I promise you, there are just some I've taught games where I gave up. I'm like I
Yeah.
don't know how else to explain it. This very crucial thing. I don't know how you're not getting it. Um, but
There, yeah.
little tip tip of the hand here. But whenever I emailed Tom about it, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'd love to talk about board games. I just got around to playing Wingspan."
Yeah.
And it's like, "Oh, you are 7 years behind."
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's people who don't have all the time in the world, but like get a chance to play this, and I think it does at least it maybe not in some people's top 10, but if it has to be considered.
Well, and a lot of new gamers um are more visual. Just
Hmm.
like because me being a teacher, that's a lot of how we've moved to teaching kids. Things are more visual now than reading out of something. So
Yeah.
it's like there's so many how to play videos of this game because it's so damn popular. Like
Oh
get
yeah.
online and watch Rodney teach it. I mean, it's like
Oh God,
you'll know
yeah.
how to play the game. Like you don't even have to really mess with the rule book except for references,
Oh yeah. Hell, even
So,
that's like if I'm trying to teach a game to like my girlfriend, I'll sit there and be like, "Is does Rodney have a video?"
right,
And then it's always like a 40-minute video. I'm like, "Oh God, these are so long, but he's so thorough."
it is.
Uh, but this also has the fun, learning factor.
Hmm.
Every single bird card has a fun fact on it. Now, I say fun because apparently birds are just vicious and evil. Um, but yeah, this one, I mean, and again, it has tons of expansions for it that if you end up really liking it, you can add more to it. But because what's FinSpan at? 7.7? I mean, these are never going to get up there with Wingspan.
No, because a lot of people didn't get into those others because they're like, oh, they're just doing the span and
Hmm.
they're milking it, but they're actually changing a little bit. It's not the exact same game.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not even made like Wormspan wasn't even made by the same person. Um,
No, you're right. But
yeah.
Wormspan is good.
Yeah, no,
So,
yeah, I know. It's just like people talk about this span series, like it's going to be Hargrave making all these games and just throwing different themes on it, or how you hear comments when they announce them, and it's like, Wormspan wasn't even the same guy. I don't know who Finspan. I don't know if she came back to do Finspan or if that was somebody different, but but yeah, so
someone different.
it's a whole third person. It's like
Yeah.
so it's like, it's caught that much of a grasp, but other designers are designing games on it too. So,
I'm gonna start
you know.
referring to Finspan as Flossenschlag. Hey, have you guys played Flossenschlag? Like, what?
Yeah.
It's like you've played Flossenschlag. Come on. All right, yeah, so that was my number 7.
All right. Well, my number six is kind of I think in the hobby is kind of the epitome of a gateway game. This was one that was on my list back when we did this a long time ago. It was on yours too. Um, this game, again, like your Dominion, has sold millions and millions of copies. It's been
You
out
mean
longer,
Wingspan?
but or Wingspan, what I say.
Dominion.
Oh, well, no, you said
Maybe
because
Dominion has sold millions of
Dominion sold
copies.
tons too, but yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I
and
I brought up the millions of sold copies with Wingspan.
okay, gotcha. But this is Ticket to Ride. I mean,
Yeah.
this is this
One of
is
the reasons I didn't even mention this one because I had a feeling you were gonna have it, so I was like, all right.
yeah, yeah. But this one is my route building. As it shows, it's kind of teaches the route building. It's very very basic. Um, it's very simple as far as you have your routes, you're just trying to connect them. You're putting these using these color cards to put trains on that kind of a route, and you're just trying to complete tickets. I mean, and there's so much for this game. This goes into your expandability deal because there's
Hmm.
so many different maps. There's so many different base games. There's even a legacy version you can work up to, which actually was really fun. Um,
Hmm.
and
Now, do you think Ticket to Ride Legacy would work? You think people could jump into that, or you think?
um, yes, I think you would want to. Yeah, I think you could too. But that brings in a whole like that would be if you're teaching somebody new, like they wouldn't know. I mean, that would kind of blow their mind too. Oh, you're adding all these new stickers and all
Hmm.
these different things. So that might be the next step. But definitely if they've played this game, just like even one game of it, just to kind of get the gist of everything, then the legacy just adds that little bit more.
Yeah,
Because there's all these special rules and special things that come into the legacy as you expand
that's fair.
west and everything. But it's still not super complex by any means. But um, but yeah, this
Zug
one,
Zug,
this
Flossenschlag.
this one is, I think this was the actual first game I ever showed Amy, I think.
Really?
Um, and it's just I've taught this to my kids when they were really young. It's like it just works so much for that
Oh
because it's
yeah.
very easy to grasp. It's I think the box now, if I'm not mistaken, like when you see them for sale now, it says like 8 million copies sold or something like that, or 10 million. I think it's 10 is what it says in the box now.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I could see
so,
that.
but yeah, I mean, these are great games, easy to teach, each
Oh,
different.
become Board Game Geek's epitome of a gateway game.
Oh, well, I'm not even reading that. So there you go. Well, since
Yeah,
they say it,
I'm
I'm
glad
feel
one of us
validated.
had it on. Like you're at least gonna be more credited. Like I'm gonna be the idiot that has Wingspan on his
Well,
list.
no, I agree with you on that
But
one. You know,
but
but
yeah, I mean, Ticket to Ride is. I think we brought it up maybe like I don't know 5 minutes ago, but it's such an obvious gateway game
uh,
that I wanted to highlight other options. I
right.
didn't want to sit here and just be a sounding board of other top 10 gateway games. Oh, here's Lords of Waterdeep, Ticket to Ride. Uh, those are the only two I can think of off the top of my head. But it's like there are a ton of other games because I wanted since we haven't done this since, you know, 6, 7 years ago.
Right.
There's been a bunch of other games that have come out that I think work really well. But yes, Ticket to Ride is very
Well, and
much the gateway game.
I was also going through just my collection of what I own as well. Like, so
I did too. Yeah.
yeah. So I was kind of just looking around, walked through all my
Hmm.
shelves and stuff, and made a big list, and then kind of whittled it down from there, kind of like I
Yeah.
always do. But yeah, I mean, this one, that's why it's not super high because I got other ones that fit other zones because I think this was like my number one or two when we did
Sure.
this the last time.
Yeah. Makes sense. All right. Good choice. My number six. Okay, good. I'm like, man, did I put a lot of two-player games on here? It is a two-player game, but uh again, kind of I did that medium thing where it's like this will work well for couples or significant other or whoever it might be to teach them. And I think this one has also gained a ton of popularity. Um, as a two-player game, and that is Sky Team.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that one too.
So Sky Team is a phenomenal game about flying planes, and I mean, the rules here are you roll a certain number of dice behind your screen. You can't talk to the other player, but you place these values of dice in various regions, and you're trying to land safely at your destination. And what makes this work so well is one, it's completely modular in how complex you want to make it, but they have tons of landing strips that are they're like difficulty coded. It's like you do the green ones if you if you're learning and you want to get into it and understand how the systems work, and it's not going to be overwhelming. You pick one of the recommended flights in the back, and there we go. Like this is all stuff that is extra. You don't have to manage fuel, you don't have an intern, you don't have to manage wind or anything like that. But that's all stuff you could throw in as you get more and more familiar with the game. The base game of SkyTeam is you have your destination and kind of like your mileage that just ticks down as you go forward, and all you have to do is balance your tilt based off your dice. The blue player has to tick all of these, and it shows you what value of dice you have to put there. The co-pilot has to do the same thing, and then you have to put the wheels down. No, the wheels are here. This one is the brakes.
Yeah.
So you have to raise the brakes to so that you can actually stop. I think this one works extremely well for couples and for a game that has no communication but is fully cooperative. You learn how to communicate without having to communicate.
That's the part that's always cracked me up about this. I really like this game. I don't own it right now, but is how you're sitting in the cockpit but you can't talk.
Yeah, I like to think it's a married couple who got into an argument.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't want to crash the plane because they'll kill a bunch of people, but they're not having a great time up there.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, and it has a great expansion that just adds even more modules and more flights to it, but you don't even need it because the base game has a lot of stuff already in that tiny box and it's very affordable.
Yep.
So if you're looking for a awesome, well, like a good travel game, um, for two players that you could play with, I don't know, your parents or in my experience, again, significant other, this is a great one, and
Yep.
that is SkyTeam.
And this company, man, they know how
They're
to put out
killing
these
it.
games.
Scorpion Mask,
Yep.
yeah, they know how to make a really fun, cheap game.
Well, and they like to make two-player games,
I
like
know.
this and tag team and just all that stuff,
Yeah. I guess we also should have said at the beginning, I don't have any party games
Yeah, I don't
on
either.
my list because
Yeah.
obviously party games are just going to work well for most people. The closest one I had was Codenames, but it didn't make the list.
Yep. All right. Well, my number five is my bag builder for this list. And no, it's not Orleans because that would be the next step up. But this one is Quacks of Quedlinburg.
This was also I did highly consider this one as well. I think this was
Yeah.
like my I don't know 12 or 13. It
Yeah.
was really close.
Yeah. I don't like the new box. Like I like the old art better.
I never cared for either art. The main thing I hate is I hate the name change.
Yeah, Quacks. It's like
Yeah.
dumb.
Like
Yeah.
I actually don't hate the what is it, the Play-Doh art or
Yeah.
whatever. The Wallace and Gromit art. I don't hate that. I just wish they would have kept the name.
Yeah. I just like the old traditional looking one.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this one I put with the bag builder because pretty much you are making potions, I guess, or remedies or whatever you're
You're doing
making, but
something.
you're pulling out tokens and you're placing them in your cauldron. You start in the center and you keep placing them out until you want to stop. It's a push your luck game as well. I guess that it could also be considered a push your luck
Hmm.
deal because once you get seven total of the cherry blossoms, your potion explodes, and then you can only do one of two things. You can either buy or gain the victory points.
Yeah.
If you can make it perfectly and without busting, then you get to do
Ew.
both.
Yeah.
So it has a neat little catch-up mechanic as well. So when you're teaching somebody and that whole little rat tails on the scoreboard let you put have them start from the center that much further, so it kind of makes it to where they can kind of it's a nice smooth little catch up mechanic. um and you have tons of variation in this too because there's the basic layout of the books with the ingredients, and there's so many because they're all double-sided. There's multiples of each one. You get the expansions, it adds more books, more stuff.
Hmm.
um it's just a a tight little game, and it's very easy to pick up. I mean, the abilities of the stuff starts getting bigger the more you go, but like when you're first teaching, if you just use the basic versions of the
Yeah.
ingredients, then they're going to pick it up really quick.
I think that's what
Um,
ultimately pushed me out was because if you start like getting a lot of the different types of tokens in your bag, then I don't know. But I mean, to be fair, this is actually one game I was able to teach my mom.
right, right, exactly. It's not difficult
So
at all. Um, because you're just basically, especially if you just use those four basic books, and
yeah,
get that to where they're comfortable with that, then maybe start adding in a little bit. This one can expand on itself just because of adding in
yeah.
the more difficult books and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean this one just really hits well, and it even has the little event decks, but that's something that's easy to explain. That's the one thing I need to do for mine is get the BGG tokens.
Oh
'Cause,
yeah, the Geek Bits. I
yeah,
have those and I have the nice bags.
yeah.
Yeah, my edition's sexy.
But yeah, I mean, this was a kind of a no-brainer on this one for bag
Sure.
building for me. And then that opens up that world of bag building for, like I said, Orleone. If
Mm.
you want to punch yourself in the dick, you can do the Altiplano,
Altiplano, or
um,
you can just really go wild and play oh, what's that Alice in Wonderland game?
Wonderland's War.
What? Yeah, Wonderland's War,
Yeah,
because that has
yeah,
bag building in it, I think.
yeah, it does. But so this is a good starting point for that to get people really into it. I actually went the other way because I started my bag building adventure with Orleone and then
Yeah.
moved this way when this came out. But yeah, I mean this one's a super God, I just can't. It's
I
just
don't hate it. I don't
I
hate it. I
just
hate the
do
name.
not I just do not like that. Like
It's, I'm kind of aroused.
go
Yeah.
go to the go to the Quacks of Quedlinburg big box because that's how you
Yeah,
can see the
this has been replaced. Quacks of Quedlinburg.
and it's the big
Mega Box.
box. Or yeah. I mean this is the art that I
I'd love to
prefer.
zoom in, but I can't.
Yeah, because it's just more realistic, it's just kind of I don't know. But
I don't
but
know.
any- but anyway, yeah, that's a personal preference. It's the same game, just the
Yeah.
art style changed and the name is dumber. But but yeah, I mean Quex of Quedlinburg is a good one.
Good deal. My number five, this would be the game that I would think is gonna be our crossover.
Okay.
And it's a game you actually showed me that I ended up getting a copy of and have since shown it to my girlfriend. She liked it a lot and then played the expansion. The expansion is really good. Don't know if I'd actually play without it. And that is Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle Earth. Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle Earth. Well, it hates me. It's because I have Lords of the Rings like an idiot, and BGG is for some reason case sensitive. There we go. Here it is. Here's the game that I was talking about. So, I mean, you can put Seven Wonders Duel in here. I don't like Seven Wonders Duel, but this one, for some reason, really works for me. Again, kind of like your trick-taking one. Having the Lord of the Rings theme definitely doesn't hurt it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this one, you're trying to achieve one of three goals. Either uh get Frodo, depending on which side you are, if you're Sauron or the Shadow Army or the Fellowship, you're trying to get Frodo to Mount Doom, or you're trying to catch him as a Nazgul. There's an area control element where you're trying to move people around and capture all the zones, or you are trying to get alliances with all seven of the things. And now it might be like area control. Are you kidding me? It's for some reason it's one of the easiest ways to do area control, but yet this game manages to make it all blend and make it very seamless. Because on your turn, you have a layout of these cards the way it is, kind of like right now. This might be Act Two or Three. I can't remember.
It's
Um,
three, I think.
but you take a face-up card and you either play it or you trash it for money. And the cards will have various icons at the bottom that you might already have, but if you don't, sometimes they might not require. Like Act One, most of them won't have a requirement, and you just play it, and then you do whatever the card says. Red cards are military, that's how you move your units. Blue cards are like the ring that allows you to move on the ring track, and green cards are fellowship, which once you get a certain set, you can look at tokens and it gives you abilities, but the game just makes it so easy to understand what is going on. I've taught this game, well, I've only taught this game to one other person, but like it was easy once I was done. I'm like, okay, any questions? She's like, nope. And
Yep.
you know, went on and you know, played multiple games of this because I wanted to try the new expansion. I don't know if I throw the expansion in right away because it adds unique player powers for both sides, but it's very straightforward once you just collect the icons and then you could see, oh, for this card I need two blue and two red. Cool, I have those. So now I can just take this card and do it. They have player aids for you that you could easily look at and understand what's going on. So I I just think this one has worked extremely well for both gamers and non-gamers. And if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, then hell, holy shit, this hit number one for family. Family. Well, there we go. There we go. That's I mean, again, if you're high on the family track on BGG, I'd say it's gonna work pretty well for Gateway. For some reason, those just go hand in hand in my eyes.
Yeah.
And again, you might think that with the area control element, with combat and stuff, it's barely even combat. Because when you move a unit into an area with an enemy unit, they just kind of kill each other, and they're just like, okay, it's wiped, and you move on.
Yeah.
Very quick
Pretty
game.
easy.
So even if it's kind of like not quite clicking, you could easily play it again, and you know, by no time, they're gonna understand what's going on.
Yeah.
So that is my number five.
All right. Well, my number four is adjacent crossover with this. So it's not going to be a full crossover. It's close.
Hmm.
And this is the original setup of this style of game, and that's just original Seven Wonders.
Oh, Seven Wonders.
Yeah. For just the pure drafting aspect, as that's my deal with it. This one was also one of the super, super early games I've shown my wife and girls, and they picked up to it really quick. Um, just like I'm talking like base game first, kind of like what you did with Dominion. It's
Yeah.
like just do the base game and go with that because the duels are fine. The duels are great. Like either one of those would work totally well as also. I put Seven Wonders just because you can do it with bigger groups too. So it plays the same way whether you're playing with seven people or three. I mean, this one
Yeah.
goes up to three, of course. Um, because the two-player version of this is not good, and you just play
I
duel if
don't,
you're
it
going to do
doesn't
that.
even exist anymore.
Well, right. I have the first edition stuff still, but yeah, we never did use that
Right.
two-player dummy thing. But yeah, this one um is pretty easy to deal with. I mean, you're just taking a card, you're placing it, pass, and it does have this one would be the one that would kind of be maybe take that practice game because you just have to learn the symbology, but there's all those papers that, and rule books and stuff they're always setting out that
Yeah,
have all that
it is
junk.
icon heavy.
It is, but it's pretty simple once they get the hang of it, with stuff. It's the same as Duel. I mean, and the Lord of the Rings Duel, there's icons on those too that you're dealing
Yeah.
with different stuff. So I mean that all is kind of the same in all three versions, I think. Um, but this one just you're maintaining your own board, you know. You only have to deal with the people on your left and right, so you're not
Yep.
having to and I mean it takes away that the building of the pyramid and all that stuff too, which there's positives and negatives both ways. Like I like the laying all the cards out like in Duel and Lord of the Rings Duel. This one's just pure, just draft. You play a card, pass, play a card, pass.
Yeah.
It's super fast. Um, Again, with this one, it would be a scoring thing. It's scoring is going to take the longest in this game.
Mhm.
Um, the app is really awesome for this game. I play tested the app when it was being made. I play an entire game of this with the expansions on the app in 5, 6 minutes. Because
Nice.
everything's automated. You're just picking a card and you just go through it. It's super,
Sure.
super easy. So I picked this as kind of like the drafting setup because then if they really get into the drafting, that opens up a really, really big door for a lot of other games with drafting cards and you know, like you said with Isle of Cats earlier,
Yeah.
if they got polyominoes, then you do this and learn the drafting, then you've got your setup for that game. Or you have area control, you have this, you can play Blood Rage. It's like
Yeah, I guess
it's just
so.
different, it's just different stuff like that. Like this is a building block mechanic. And this was kind of the granddaddy of the drafting games. When it first came
Sure.
out, it really brought drafting to the forefront. Um, and yeah, I mean,
Cool.
there's also a lot of expansions for it. I haven't even played the newest one yet.
I haven't either.
The Edifice, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, I have it, but
Yeah.
no, yeah, because you need a decent group, and I mean, man, yeah, we should play this one next game day.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because this is one of Amy's favorite
I know,
and
I
and
know,
stuff
it's
too.
so
So
good.
yeah. Yep. So that's my number four. Kind of
Nice.
a side. We're almost
Right.
a match.
We're almost there. This inspired the game that inspired my number four or my number five.
Right. Right.
All right, my number four is my last direct two-player game. Um, and funny enough, we mentioned this company already, and they know how to
Yeah.
make great two-player games. And I really think this one's a solid one, and that is Tag Team.
This was on my short list. I considered it. I just it was one I really considered, but
Yeah,
it just didn't quite make it. This probably would have been like a 12 or so.
sure. Yeah. I don't know. Tag Team has been one of those games in my personal experience of kind of being a staple game to bring, if we're going to be like on vacation or going
Hmm.
to like a relaxing area that it's so easy to get to the table. And I think some people might see this game and be like, "Oh, there's all those fighters and they all play completely different." They do, and that's a great aspect of the game, but this company has made it to where learning those fighters is so easy. That
Yes.
fighter manual is every question that you could have where it's like, how is this card going to interact with this card? Oh, it's an FAQ. It's already right there.
Hmm.
So and there's a complexity ranking for each of these fighters. Like if we take a look at this down at the bottom, Mordred's a 2. So if you're teaching someone new, you don't give them the 5 circle complexity hero. You give them the Golem, who's a level 1, and you give him Joan, and you watch them never die because Joan will constantly heal them and Gollum will just absorb all the damage. So you'll just lose because I don't know, you just can't do the damage. Um, but the team comp you can have is outstanding. When I was doing my ranking for these fighters, I would pull like 2 random. At the end, I was like, this game could be, you can just pull any 2 random comps. And when I did, I'm like, well, now I want to play this game because
Yeah.
I just want to see how this comp would work. Uh, it's not icon heavy at all, and they do an awesome job with the cards of making it icons, but then at the bottom
It explains it. Yeah.
explaining what it
Yeah.
means.
It's that simple. Like if people did that with a lot of those icon games,
I
that would be,
know.
you know.
I know. It's like eventually you'll learn what the icons mean. You won't have to read it, but for people who are learning, they're gonna want to read it.
Hmm.
And the core of this game is you start with 2 cards, and you just have to understand that whenever you add a new card to the deck, it just gets slotted in somewhere. And then the game plays itself. It's literally an auto battler. So you just have to flip the card and see how it matches up. The hardest part of this game is learning that it's not so much about learning the game, but learning your opponent.
Hmm.
Um, but that just comes with repeated play. If you lose immediately, it's a 10-minute game and you play it again.
Yeah.
I got,
Oh,
I
go ahead.
mean, I don't even know why it's a 9 at this point. This game is just, I always rave about it every time I talk about it.
The one thing that was a little confusing when I was teaching people was because everything happens simultaneously. So
Yeah.
if you run up to that edge case where this person may die, but like well with the bear guy, I can't think of his name,
Mm,
Balin or whatever. So it's like
uh,
if you he took enough damage to die, but he also got the deal to flip to his bear form. Like that was kind of an interesting like what would happen first, even if they're happening simultaneously. So what we did is we
right.
flipped to the bear and gave him the damage,
Well, I
you
believe
know.
that that is answered in the FA
It,
in the
right,
fighter's manual.
it is. But I'm just saying like there are some edge cases that you may have to
Yeah.
look up. So, and not saying that's against because this is a great absolute bomb of a game. Like this game killed most 1v1 but like I will never play Dice Throne competitively,
That's
like
yeah,
because this is awesome. You like the
it's so
randomness isn't
good.
there. You get the choice of what the only randomness to this game is what card you draw to put into your deck
Yep.
and what the other person's playing against you. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
only randomness. It's like and but it yeah, this is an outstanding game.
Yeah, I absolutely love this one. So yeah, like what we were saying, it's I can't really think of anything that yeah, the edge cases can show up, but every time I've had an edge case where I'm like, I don't really know how this works, and I look into the fighter's manual and you go to like a great example is the Fey Folk. Um they have a card that's built into their starting deck where it's like if you have 4 spirits and you play this card, you lose. But this character right here has a card in his deck that can remove an opponent's card from their deck. And if he removes that card, it says in the FAQ, if that card removes this card, they are immortal. And
Jesus.
and I'm like, they did such a good job with that FAQ. And don't get me wrong, like you mentioned Dice Throne. Dice Throne did a great job with their FAQ as well
Hmm.
for the individual fighters, which makes those asymmetric 1v1 games way more manageable. But I don't know. There has not been a edge case scenario that I've had come up where I didn't know. I couldn't find the answer.
Yeah, and well, in most 1v1 games like this, head to head, or I guess 2v2, 1v1, whatever you want to consider it, is this one has so much more control.
Hmm.
Because like most of those 1v1 games has randomness on top of randomness. Like
Yeah.
Dice Throne is you're drawing cards, you don't know what you're going to get, and you have to roll a bunch of dice to see what's happening. Like,
Hmm.
and then you have to roll for defense to see if that's going. It's like
Yeah.
there's all this randomness where this one, like I said, is just whatever card you draw and then whatever the other person's playing. That's it. That's
Yep.
all you have to worry about.
Yep. And we, as I mentioned, talking about expandability, not only, I mean, there's 12 fighters in this box, but the sheer combination of any fighters is going to be exciting and interesting.
Hmm.
But there's 2 expansions already planned, and there's probably 2 more after that. Like this game has so much that it could go for.
Yep.
And I'm here for it. I'm
Yep.
so fucking stoked. I love this game. And you know what? I love it so much. It's
You're gonna
getting
make it a
a
10.
I'm gonna make it a 10. I can't think of I don't even know why it was a 9 because I'm an
I,
idiot.
I was just getting ready to tell you right before you did that. I was like, you might as well make it a 10.
I really
You're
can't think
gushing
of
at
any. I
it.
know. I know. I every time I talk about it, this has worked great. Like I've had cases where there's a character who has a card that says if your team loses for any reason, you win, and my girlfriend played that against me, and I was like, that's amazing.
Yep.
Any other 1v1 game, if that happened, I'd probably beat the shit out of the other player. Be like, we're going outside. And I'm loading, like cocking my gun. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'll tell you about the rabbits.
Yeah.
So yeah, it gets a 10. I absolutely love it, and I wish it was higher on my list. But to be fair, I think for new players,
Hmm.
um, they might get confused with like how they sort the not necessarily how they sort the cards literally, but how that's important.
Right, right.
So not, but it's up there.
All right. Well, my number three is a crossover.
Oh shit. Forest Shuffle?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. It's a good old Forest Shuffle. This one was one that I actually was late to the party too. I just started playing it, about what, 4, 5 months ago, maybe even less than
Something
that,
like
probably
that.
3 months ago.
Couple
Because
months ago? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and it's awesome. Like with the expansions and everything. My wife and I have played it several times. It's really good. Everything you said about it, the scoring can get handled with the app, and it's got that nature theme, so obviously that gets people right into it. And
Yeah.
then
I
um,
thought about Meadow. Meadow would have been a really good nature one. I think that works really well, but Forest Shuffle is easier to get to the table.
I haven't played Meadow yet. I have it. I just haven't played it
It's
yet.
really good. I mean, if Amy likes this, she'll like Meadow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But this one is such a compact game that it's easy to just, all right, ready to play.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, I really don't have much to add to what you said earlier. I mean, it's it's
Nice.
a it's a it's
If
a
you could have
solid one.
any, if you could have any pet here, fully
Uh,
fully trained,
fully
like
trained.
not going to go wild and kill you or give you rabies or anything like that, which one you picking? The ant?
Probably no, probably
Are
the
you a pet?
whatever that is next to the fox. It looks like a wolf.
That wolf?
It looks
Looks
like a
like I
wolf.
think that might be a coyote. It might be a wolf.
Oh, never mind. It's in another language. I was like looking at it, I was like, what does that say?
Dude, it's a Zerka Farkas.
Yeah.
It's a Flossenschatz, whatever the word was.
That or the bear. The bear would be
Yeah,
cool if it was
yeah.
a
I think if
friend.
I could have a
Yeah.
fully trained bear, it's if every time I see a bear, I'm like, if not friend, then why is it friend shaped? Those ears. I want to hug a bear so bad, but I would it'd be I would die.
Yeah.
If not the bear, then I think having a raccoon or an owl would be
Yeah.
dope.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. That's my number three.
No lizards. I'm not a weirdo.
No.
All right. My number three, for all intents and purposes, should be on your list, but you hate this game for whatever dumbass reason, so it's not going to be on your list. But this is easily one of like the gateway cooperative game, and that is Pandemic. Um, so
I will not argue that it needs to be on this list, even though I don't like it because I know it is what it is as far
yeah,
as being a gateway stuff.
no, that's fair. Kind of like one of the reasons I didn't pick Ticket to Ride was because I was hoping it was on your list. It's like,
Right.
yeah, I mean, Pandemic has done so much for the hobby, even all these years later, it's being re-implemented, even though they now don't have the title a pandemic system anymore, like Fall of Rome, Pandemic Iberia. Now it's just called Iberia. Now it's called Fall of Rome, Fate of the Fellowship. None of them have that moniker of a pandemic system. But this is core game Pandemic that feels like, now I wasn't around whenever this like hit I mean I was around, I was alive, but I wasn't into the hobby when this came out. I might have been a few years later, but you can correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I've heard, this was kind of like the kickstart of, oh, board games can be cooperative. Um,
I
because I
mean,
mean, you
yeah,
always think
it's
of
yeah.
competitive board gaming. That's how it's always been. Um, but this one came out, hit the scene, and you are curing diseases. So, I mean, it's very, very straightforward where you have a hand of cards that you're trying to basically do set collection, but you have a unique player ability. This is the original version, but you have a unique player ability and you have actions, like 4 actions you can do, and your actions are straightforward. Move from location to location, cure a cube off the board, prevent it from outbreaking, and eventually you're trying to discover cures for each of the 4 diseases. And if you do that, you win. But at the end of your turn, you draw 2 cards. If you draw an epidemic card, then you just follow the steps on the card. It it has done so much for this hobby, and if you're teaching someone, or trying to get someone into board gaming, they're probably not going to know that games can be cooperative. And it's such a cool, it's a cool experience to set it out and tell the other players, we know we're working together.
Hmm.
Now there are people who are weirdly against that, where it's like, no, I don't want to do that, and it's like you're difficult to be around. Um, I just don't want to work with others. I can see why you've been divorced 7 times, but most people jump at the opportunity to not have to compete and have that stress of trying to win and feeling shame and dishonor when you lose. So with pandemic being what it is, it just had to be on this list.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I agree. I agree it needed to be on the list, even though I don't like it.
yeah. So that's my number 3, pandemic.
All right. My number two is the other one that was on my list a long time ago when we did this. And this one is on here because not only is it a gateway to normal players, it's a gateway to another type of gamer. That's going to be Lords of Waterdeep. Because this is a gateway to D&D players, getting them into the board game hobby,
Hmm.
as well as being a pretty simple worker placement game to get other people into it. This obviously takes my worker placement. Forest Shuffle was my Tableau builder. This is my worker placement.
Yeah.
Um, because really, when you're placing stuff out and you're gaining the cubes of different colors and doing stuff, I mean, it's you have your mission cards or whatever they call them, and it pretty much just lays out on the card. You need 1 white, 5 orange, and 3 purple or whatever, and then you just pay that in to complete the quest. You
This is
know,
Awaken Realms next next
well, this they're already coming out with a new version of this.
Oh, are they? Oh,
Well,
damn.
it's an updated, like a
Ah,
reprint update, so I don't know if it's like, you know,
damn.
yeah,
I
because
was
because it's out of print
I was
right
like,
now.
oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, because this one's out of print. You can't get this right now, but
really?
the
Oh,
next one's coming like
okay.
soon, you know.
It's
But
from it's because that company who's reprinting it bought all the copies and
yeah,
burned them.
yeah,
Like, you only can now get the new one.
yeah. So anyway,
I'm surprised you didn't pick Stone Age. I know that's a big one
Stone
for
Age is
early worker placement.
Stone Age is very mathy.
Is it? I've only
Yes.
played it once.
Well, because you have to, because that one's one like when you land in certain spots, it's like you have to take however much your die
Oh
roll
yeah.
is versus that, and you have to multiply it to figure out what you get and
Yeah,
all that
yeah.
stuff. It's like
And it
that
had like
one's
the
just,
taint cup, right? Isn't that the one that had the cup that smelled
well,
like a jock strap or
yeah,
something?
this is the leather cup and all that
Yeah,
stuff. It just seemed like another, like this one's very straightforward. Like you have X number
got
of
it.
workers, you're placing it on a deal, you're gathering whatever you gather. You're completing quests. You can build stuff to put them to adds up another other places, and you play for X number of rounds,
Yeah,
and it's very simple. Like I said, when you're completing quests, which is what the main thing of this game is, it pretty much just shows you the cubes on there that you have to turn in to complete it. It's
that's
like
true. Yeah.
it's not like you have to. It's not all wordy and everything. It's like I mean, the
Hmm.
wordiness is what you get if you complete the quest, but it's not like anything crazy. It's like, oh, turn in 2 whites and an orange, you get 4 points, and then it
Yeah,
has like,
yeah.
so it's like, it's very easy with that stuff too. And then it opens up with worker placement. I mean, if you really like worker placement, then it opens up the whole Euro aspect of everything. Like,
It's
because most,
true.
like, there's so many games of worker placement that
That's
goes.
true.
But I mainly put this on the list because it's easy for people. Plus, it brings role players in as well. Like if they,
Yeah.
so that's why I mainly put it on here.
Yeah. The only other worker placement I would have considered, I would have considered, but having actually taught it to someone very recently and it didn't go over super well, is viticulture. For some reason, viticulture didn't quite click.
Yeah, that
Um,
one's got some.
I think it's because of the different phases of having the
Yeah.
workers that you have to like hold on to. That might
Hmm.
have been it. Um, but yeah, no, great. I mean, this one I came to the party way late after having played a bunch of different worker placements, so I was like, yeah, this one's fine.
I bought this
but
one
I
when it came out. Yeah.
when you're like you were 30 when it came out,
Oh God, no. Less
2012.
older than that. Because
You,
I'm 48 pretty much, and that's 14 years ago, so it'd be 34 when it came out.
yeah, man, you bought this at the time that you're older than me that I am right now when
Yeah,
you
I
bought
know.
this.
All
All
right, back
right.
in the day, we got our
Back in the
worker
day when
placements.
we had Lords of Waterdeep. All right. My number two is the only big Kickstarter.
Okay,
So and but you mentioned what was your choice for Unmatched Adventures was like
for
your
co-op
cooperative
teamwork kind of thing.
miniatures.
Yeah.
I Well, I haven't personally played Unmatched Adventure, so I can't really talk to it. I am probably going to go out on a limb and say that this game I think does the miniatures and cooperative nature better, and that is Marvel United.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's definitely a gateway game because it's so
Yep,
basic. You have like what
it is.
three actions that you
Yeah,
you choose from. Yeah,
yep. And talk about expandability
yeah.
with this one. So not only does it have the superhero theme that I think is going to work for a majority of people, um, you can get like the Walmart edition that actually somehow had had Venom as
Yeah.
like a unique character. But you also want to talk about a game that for all intents and purposes I should never have liked because the base game is so basic. But man, it's so much fun. You have these various locations. This is with the playmat and stuff, but you don't have to have the playmat. Um, you have various locations that have unique abilities. You pick a hero that in the core box is Storm, Wolverine. Maybe I'm thinking of the X-Men one. Who is in the core box of Marvel United?
Marvel
Does it
United.
say?
It's Captain America. Well, Red
Captain
Skull was
America,
the yeah Iron Man. Like if you just
Iron
look at the
Man.
cover, it's got Black
Oh yeah,
Widow,
okay. There we go.
Hulk.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
thinking of the X-Men one. But that's also you can just pick the X-Men one. Yeah, Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, Black
Captain
Widow,
Marvel.
Captain Marvel. So you pick one of those heroes you want to play as they have their own deck with a few unique abilities in it, but mainly these very basic icons. Um, and while the characters themselves aren't radically different from one another, although if you start getting expansions, you have literally everyone you could ever think of in Marvel. Um, but the characters themselves aren't quite super dynamic. But what makes this game super fun is the villains. Because the villains all have special abilities on them, as well as there's a lot of just random variation that makes this game work extremely well. And I think one of the systems that I don't know if you've seen it in other games, but I really like this timeline element where
Mm.
you play a card out and that gives you your icons, but then the next card you play, you get the icons from the previous one. So it's really cool
I haven't
team
seen that.
cooperation, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
That was a unique thing when I first learned this game. That was a
yeah.
neat part of it.
Yeah, so not only are you trying to, I mean, you're trying to do three basic things. You're trying to either clear threats, which if you're playing like Red Skull, he puts out threats on the location. So you have to defeat Crossbones, or you have to overcome this. Then you either that'll unlock an ability that makes the villain tougher. Then you have to save civilians, and you have to defeat thugs. All very basic stuff. So whenever you're playing this game it's all extremely digestible. Uh, the way I'm explaining it, I feel like I'm making it way more complex than it really is. But once you complete those objectives, then you can finally fight the boss, and it's just it adds so much variation, but it's so simple. And even though those cards have two punch icons, you have your hand of cards that you're trying to work together and cooperatively move around the locations to overcome objectives to then finally defeat the boss. And um, yeah, and it's just incredibly expandable. So I somehow just for some reason the plug and play nature of this one just made me really, really like it and ended up getting literally everything for it.
It still cracks me up on this game because when you told me you were buying everything for it, I laughed because I was going to buy everything for it and you talked me out of it.
I know.
Yeah.
I
And
know.
then, and then you went and bought everything. It's just
And I
funny how the
turned around
trend
and
was.
got everything. Yeah, so I have literally everything for the big Marvel games. Marvel
Yep.
Zombies, Marvel Champions, and Marvel United.
Yep.
I'm done. Not done because Marvel Champions is still going, but
Right.
yeah, I really think that especially if you're trying to like if there's anyone who is like into the MCU or likes Marvel comics, I really think this is a super solid one because then you just throw in some expansions and from what I have heard, the base game is very basic,
It
but
is.
then the expansions just kind of open the floodgates.
Yep.
So that's my number two, Marvel United.
Yep. Yep. Good choice. All right. My number one. I mean, do you have any guess?
As
I mean,
gateway
you
games.
want me to tell you the mechanic?
Yes.
Okay, so it's area control,
Area
and there's a
control.
lot of different ones that this could have been, but
That is true. Um, what could it be? What is a gateway area control game? Do I own it?
I don't believe you do. I think you did
Okay.
at one time, and you may still. I don't remember, but I don't think you do.
Hey, that rules out Blood Rage and
No, no.
Rising Sun.
Blood Rage would be the next step. Like,
Blood Rage would be the next step.
yeah, like as far as area control and how to. There's a lot of next steps, though. I mean, like, there's so many
Gotcha.
area control games that.
There are I don't know.
Okay, next
I
hint. It came out in 2009.
I'm horrible with dates. There's no way. There's no way I'm gonna guess it. I'm definitely gonna
Days of Wonder.
uh
Crazy Races that go
oh,
into.
Small World.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. That's your number one gateway game?
I've really gotten back into this. Yes. Well, but you also have to remember with me splitting this up by trying to put one per style, like, you know what I'm saying? Like my list isn't necessarily by my favorite favorites either. Like I'm area control is one of my favorite things to teach in area in that, and this opens up the
Yeah.
door to so many cool games that I do love, you know. So, um, because if I was going by my actual favorite on this list, it probably would have been, um, for a shuffle probably would have been the first one. But I was just kind of
Gotcha.
like, so anyway, Small World. Like I said, this opens the door to so many different games. Your Blood Rages, your anything with the high miniature stuff. This one,
I do own
also
this game, by the way.
okay. I couldn't remember if you did or
Oh
not.
yeah. Yeah, no, Small World's great. I didn't even consider this one. I think the combination of races might be overwhelming.
Well, but I mean, it's just there though. I mean, it's just like, um, they get put together and it's stuff. But anyway, the area control aspect, um, you're just pretty much moving your race tokens, spreading them out to adjacent places. And you can overtake other people if you need to. You can eventually you're going to get spread so thin you have to go into decline. So you flip
Hmm.
everything over, and then that's when you're going to get a new race set. Um, and I picked this over because there's other area control games that could have fit this bill, um, and stuff. But like this one with the art style, with the that uniqueness of having the cool mix of characters. Like you can have so many different mixes of characters, um, and everything that it lays that foundation for all these other area control games that you could get, controlling a
Yeah.
territory, trying to have the most power, trying to overtake somebody next to you.
So I guess
That's
I
where,
did play. Last time I played this was a four-player game where two out of the four hadn't been into the hobby at all,
Yeah.
and everyone was into it.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
it's I've played it multiple times with people that have never messed with games too. I mean, this is something it may take a round or like a practice round just to kind of show them what
mhm.
the flow goes, but then once you do that, it's very straightforward as far as what you're doing because at the end of every round you gain coins for the areas you control, and
Yeah.
then you are going to just keep rolling with it, and it's very fluid because you just kind of keep using that race until you go into decline, and then you get a new race, and you kind of just start overtaking again, and it's just kind of rinse and repeat
So
as you go. Yes,
so there's another game that I thought about. It didn't end up making anywhere, like I didn't put it anywhere in consideration, but I did think of it, and it's adjacent to this one. So was Smash Up also considered for you?
I didn't. I did not do Smash Up.
Interesting, because
Yeah,
Smash Up also kind of has that same exact like vibe here. But I didn't put Smash Up in because of the card combos and stuff. So I thought
well,
that's
it
kind of where.
was it was card combos plus you weren't you weren't getting fresh. Like the so if you pick a bad combo and Smash Up, let's say, you're with them the whole game.
Yeah,
If you pick a bad combo here that doesn't do much, once you go into decline, you get the chance to get a new set. So you're constantly chasing
gotcha.
your races
That's
throughout a
fair.
game just to kind of get some cool stuff. So the replayability of this, especially if you have like the two character expansions that add more the race and stuff expansions that just have so many damn things now, that you can
Oh yeah.
mix. Um, once the symbology is picked up and stuff like that, like
Hmm.
this goes with it. And like I said, I'm not talking about the underground. I don't care for the
Oh yeah,
underground.
or the World of Warcraft
Right,
one.
right. But
Yeah.
this is just so vibrant and then the art's neat. And then when you're picking your characters, like it's just funny. Some of the mixtures you get some nice little stories with the combos that you
Oh
get with
yeah.
the stuff. So
This is the one Awakened Realms gonna
well,
remake.
that was my next point. That was my next point. I was getting ready to say that because man, what would they fucking do with this, man? Like I don't know if they could. It'd be too damn
Overprice
expensive
it, I can tell you that much.
because like there's no buildings you'd really be putting. It would just be tons
It's
and
all
tons of
minis. Yeah, it's
right, but
tons and tons of minis.
I don't know if they would because like the things on the left would alter what the minis
Oh, I know. No, they're not
do.
touching this.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
no way. This game would be great for a second edition, though.
yeah, yeah.
I jump in on that. Yeah, I think you've kind of had me come around. I think, yeah, because I like my first reaction for this was hell no, there's no way.
Well,
But
look at the age down there.
yeah, that means nothing. Look at the
Eight
time.
plus. I
This
know,
game
but
says 40 minutes.
yeah.
Liars.
But eight plus, man, it's like it's very easy to pick up and go. Like I taught my kids this. Yeah, I've
Not
taught
at eight.
one of them was what, seven
To
and
be fair,
six.
one of your kids is
Seven and
also
six.
is also trying to like studying to be a neuroscientist or whatever.
Cancer.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, your kids are outliers.
But
The
I mean,
eight-year-olds that they're talking about, they're not.
well,
They might as well put a one in front of that eight.
this is adults with an 8-year-old mindset.
That's
But
fair.
it's like I said, this kind of like the one kind of like I guess how you were talking with Wingspan for you. Like
Yeah.
some people may say it's not, but it's going to be group dependent and how you present it. It's like the teach of these games, all these games that
Oh
we've
well,
talked
yeah,
about today. It's really going to come down to how it's taught
yeah. And
with
that
any
that for
gateway,
me
you
kind of
know?
goes without saying is like assuming that the person teaching the game is not a complete moron and
Right.
plays Kabuto Sumo for 2 hours. Then
Yeah. Yep.
then yeah. Which Kabuto Sumo also almost made my list.
Yeah, that's a fun one. I just don't own it, so I didn't
Yeah.
put it on there. But yeah.
All right. All right. Well, good pick. This game is fantastic.
Yep.
All right. Do you have any guess on my number one?
Oh, what's the main mechanic?
Legacy?
Legacy, huh?
Yeah.
Well, it's not gonna be catacomb or not catacombs.
Clank.
Clank.
No. I did have
Uh
Clank Catacombs on my list, and it in my ranking it lost to every game.
oh, I know it's Stickerville.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cozy Stickerville.
Yeah.
This is brand spanking new. So this could be recency bias, but I have not played a campaign game. I played it at two, so I played with my significant other, so take that for what it's worth. But I have not played a game where I sat down and wanted to play through the entire thing.
Yeah.
Um, this game has Gateway written all over it, especially for couples. And some people might be like, "Why do you keep harping on that?" You see it all the time on Reddit forums and stuff of like, "How do I get my significant other to play games with me?" Um, and it's a huge contention point because
Yep.
it's like you don't share interests, or you feel like, "Hey, we're always doing your shit. Why don't you like any of my stuff?" And it causes breakups. So this one is just ripe to get your whoever to play games with you. I don't know if it works so well. It plays up 1 to 6. I think that would be a mistake, honestly, to play with a large group.
It says best at two, man.
It
That's
does, oh,
perfect.
it's a
Perfect.
100%.
Yeah.
Um, and also for the record, I do know who Corey Konichkin is. I swear.
That's
I
funny.
have I have all of his games, not all of them, but I have a lot of them. It still blows my mind though that that's who
Yep.
designed it. Um, but the other thing that leads this to be one of, in my opinion, one of the best Gateway games is because there's no losing. Like it even says you're good, you're gonna truck forward. You might make decisions that can hurt you a little bit, but there's no win-loss condition. By the time you are done with all 10 chapters, you have created your village. And then you can replay it again, not 100%. You have to make different decisions, but you can see the game has 5 different endings. So you're not gonna be able to see them all, but you do get to play the game at least twice. It's very, very Stardew Valley. So if you like that, it's an awesome comfort game that you can play with another person. Yeah, it's not like the most mechanical game in the world. You are literally just placing a bunch of stickers, but it has some resource management, has decisions. I was floored by this one. Um, so every time I was doing a ranking, it just kept winning out because I wanted to sit down and put and play through all 10 chapters. And then I wanted to play it again to make different decisions.
Yeah.
Uh, it's been a long time since I played a legacy game that I actually wanted to frame the final board because we were so pleased with how our village turned out. Uh, and the past legacy games I've played of late, I threw away once I was done. I'm like, I don't want to keep this. So if you're
Yeah.
someone who is looking to try and get a couple other people, maybe, or you just play it with, you can play this with like your grandma and have a great time.
Yeah, we haven't
So,
started this. That's why I haven't because I probably would have made mine too if we had played it, but
right.
haven't started
Yeah,
it yet.
I would be shocked if if Amy did not like this one.
No, she was the one
Like,
that pointed it out to me.
yeah.
Like, so that's yeah.
Yeah, so I absolutely love it. So that hit my number one gateway game.
All right, good deal.
All right. So that is, I keep thinking my camera's right there. That is it, everyone. Those are our top 10 gateway games. Let us know what gateway games you think should have been on this list. Let us know what you think of these games in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.